What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Sioux Falls Regional Airport for the 42nd airport update for the month of August 2023. Lots of news to talk about, lots of things to discuss as well, so this is going to be a pretty long video, so if you guys could just bear with me in this video, I would appreciate it. So if you guys do stick around for the entire video, I thank you in advance. But let's go ahead and get into the airport update before we talk about anything significant. Starting off here at gate number 1, we have this Delta Airbus A320 coming in from Atlanta as flight 1436. A bit of a delayed flight, unfortunately. This arrived in at 12:58 a.m. on Wednesday, delayed from an 11:59 p.m. scheduled arrival on Tuesday. So all the flights in this airport update are from Tuesday, August 1st, the first of the month, trying to get ahead of schedule here so that I can safely transition back into college, which I'll talk more about that right at the end of the video, the very end of that specifically. So yeah, Delta going pretty strong here with our main line, still keeping the two A320s, but we do have an A319 in this update since they did down-gauge it at one point. It looks like here as we move into the fall and winter, Delta will switch back to the 319, which would make sense since there would be slightly less demand, but still enough to keep mainline on the service. So hopefully by next spring and into the summer of 2024, we will see the 320 come back. Maybe an A321 if there's more demand than usual. We'll have to see what happens. Next up at Gate 5, we have a bit of a shake-up here with our American stuff. We do have a mainline in this update, which we'll take a look at later. But right here at Gate 5, we have this American Eagle CRJ-200. This aircraft arrived in from Chicago O'Hare as Flight 6237. This arrived in at 4:29 p.m., had to be scheduled 4:42 p.m. arrival. Looks like the Air Wisconsin CRJs are going to be staying here for the next few months, at least through November, per PassRider.com. I just quickly checked that here right before I started filming this segment, because I didn't check it before starting this video. But nevertheless, it will be good to see that these Air Wisconsin CRJs are going to stay in the long term, not necessarily for the passenger experience, but just because there will be more opportunities to catch the Air Wisconsin Retro, which has come in a handful of times already, but it's just always coming in on the late night flight and never comes in on the afternoon flight for some reason, so I don't know what's going on with that. But hopefully I will get a good shot, a good opportunity to catch Air Wisconsin Retro coming in the future, and I hope that Gemini will release it as well. Parked at Gate 7, we had this United Express Embraer 175. This aircraft arrived in from Denver as Flight 5754 at 12:02 a.m. on Wednesday, delayed from an 11:38 p.m. scheduled arrival on Tuesday. So this is the second flight that we have here that has arrived into Wednesday the 2nd instead of its scheduled arrival from Tuesday the 1st. At Gate 6, we have this United Airbus A319, continuing on with our Denver services. This arrived in as Flight 1451 at 9:23 p.m., had to be scheduled 9:24 p.m. arrival. So good to see that we have Denver mainline still, and we also have Chicago mainline as well, which unfortunately I'm not able to represent here, but they are still sending it on a mix between the 319 and 320. So good to see that, and it looks like it'll continue here for at least through the autumn season. Last aircraft at the terminal at Gate 4 is this Delta Airbus A319. This aircraft arrived in from Minneapolis is Flight 2359, and this is quite the delay here. So this was supposed to arrive in at 12:17 a.m. on Tuesday, August 1st, but it did not arrive until 2:46 p.m. Tuesday, August 1st. So that is a delay, gosh, 14 hours of a delay. My goodness, I think that is the most delayed flight that I've ever had in an airport update, period. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that in any of the other airport updates. And I thought that Air Wisconsin delay last month, which was about 4 to 5 hours, somewhere around there, I thought that was bad. But this is on a whole new level. But really unfortunate to see that, and also a bit unfortunate to see it on the smaller 319. But I guess the one plus out of this is that I can represent both Delta mainlines here in this airport update. So you see Atlanta over there at Gate 1, and also, of course, the Minneapolis that we just took a look at Gate 4. And that is everything we have here at the terminal. Now we'll move on to our new regular segment, which we'll be doing here for the third straight month, is the parking garage update. So, we got quite a bit of exciting news, and thanks to the recent Sioux Falls Air Show, I did get some pretty good photos on the air show grounds of the parking garage construction. There's also an email that was sent out by the airport as well, so I'll use a few of their photos to explain what I'm talking about here. But here is the update that we have for the parking garage. The second level has been fully poured, all the concrete is down. The third level piers are starting to come up as well, and they're also just starting to get work done on the Skyway entrance. So just across the airport road there, which looks like they have that all torn up now, as they can allow construction crews to work on that for the next few months. So it looks like we will be making some pretty good progress here through the end of the summer, so that is awesome news. And it looks like we're still on track for the parking garage to be fully enclosed by November. Completion date is October of 2024, so I'm not sure why it would be that so far away when they're pretty well along in construction, but my guess is they will likely take a break in the winter months, since obviously with it being in South Dakota, and winter can be very harsh around here, so my thinking is that they will likely have a pause in the winter, so that they're not necessarily working through the harsh winter conditions, and it's kind of hard to work on construction like that in the winter conditions when it gets really cold. But nevertheless, I'll continue to do these parking garage updates throughout the rest of the summer and fall up until they stop on parking garage updates. But again, I'll continue to make these trips up to the airport and continue to check out how the parking garage is moving along. So, let's go ahead and continue with the update. We'll check out some other aircraft roaming the airport. We've also got some GA aircraft in here as well, and then we'll talk about some other things about the airport, and then some college-related stuff to round out the video. Taxiing out for departure, we have this United Express CRJ 550. This aircraft's going to be heading out to Chicago O'Hare as Flight 4480, operated by GoJet. This departed at 3:35 p.m., delayed from a 3:15 p.m. scheduled departure time, so just a delay of 20 minutes. So good to see that our GoJet 550s are still coming in on a pretty regular basis here, so hopefully we'll continue to see these as we move into the fall. Always happy to see these Delta Connection CRJ 900s in the Sioux Falls airport updates. Hopefully that Delta Connection Embraer 175 is coming out very soon, and as I said previously, that will be out by February of 2024, so look forward to seeing that in the Sioux Falls airport updates when applicable. But this CRJ 900 is going to be heading out to Minneapolis as Flight 5022, operated by Endeavor Air. Departed at 1:25 p.m., a bit behind a 1:18 p.m. scheduled departure time, so just a 7-minute delay for this outbound aircraft. So it looks like Delta Connection will continue to see a mix between the CRJ 900 and the Embraer 175, so they'll kind of flip-flop between it every other month or so, it looks like. So one month we'll probably have the 175, the next month we'll have the CRJ 9, so just kind of go between them. But it looks like right now, predominantly, we are seeing the CRJ 900. One of our last commercial flights in this update, taxiing out for departure. We got one more here on the hard stand. I'll talk more about that in a minute. We have this American Airbus A319 with sharklets. This aircraft's going to be heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth as Flight 2872. This departed at 2:06 p.m., a bit behind a 1:21 p.m. scheduled departure time, so that is a delay of 45 minutes. So quite unfortunate to see that long of a delay, but at least it's not the 14 hours that we saw with Delta coming in from Minneapolis just a few moments ago. Bit of a unique situation here for this aircraft, parked over at the hard stand. We have this Frontier Airbus A320 Neo. So this aircraft came in from Denver as Flight 442 as scheduled. This arrived in at 6:29 p.m., ahead of a scheduled 6:30 p.m. arrival. It was supposed to depart back to Denver about an hour later, but it looks like that flight got canceled. So my guess is what happened with this aircraft is that they would have to move this to a remote parking position, and my assumption here is that they moved it over to the hard stand. There is another gate apron, which if I pull back the camera over to where gate 1 is at, so there's gate 1A. 1B would be just kind of off here at the edge of the table, just off in that general area. So my guess is they could have parked it there as well, but since I don't have that space, I've put it over here at the hard stand so that it makes the most sense for me in this update. But nevertheless, a bit unfortunate to see that outbound flight get canceled. It looks like that aircraft has not yet left Sioux Falls. It might still be in town. I'm guessing that they will have this sent out possibly as a repositioning or repo flight in the coming days. And now we'll check out the 2 GA aircraft that we have down here. My first time in quite a while using these in airport updates. Let's take a look. First up for our GA aircraft, we have this Gulfstream 4 that came in from St. Paul. Call sign was November 137 Whiskey Sierra, arriving in at 4:16 p.m., delayed from a 3:43 p.m. scheduled arrival, so a delay of 33 minutes for this aircraft. And then our other aircraft, we have this beautiful Cessna 750 Citation X with winglets. So this came in from Joplin as November 586 Mike. That's its registration. This arrived in at 5:02 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 5:27 p.m. arrival. Now, I know that there is an Embraer ERJ aircraft that has a similar registration. I think it's like 538 or 539 Mike. And I think that aircraft is owned by Menards, which, for those that don't know, is a home improvement chain based in the Midwest. So they've got a number of stores around our area, including Sioux Falls, as I've been to them many times. So yeah, that Menards jingle is kind of embedded into my head, and it's starting to play right now. So any other Midwestern viewers that are watching this, and now if you have the Menards jingle stuck in your head, I do apologize for that. But anyways, that is all the aircraft we have in this update, rounding out the Sioux Falls Regional Airport update for August of 2023. All right, so now to talk about a couple things pertaining to the airport. So one of the big things coming up here is American Mainline from Charlotte. The Charlotte service is coming back September 6th of 2023. It will operate on Mainline every day of the week except Saturday. It will be on a CRJ 900 then, and it looks like it's going to end on November 4th. So why they would only have this scheduled for 2 months, I don't know, but my guess is that they're likely going to extend that because the Mainline flight from DFW, which you can see there, bottom right of your screen, right down over there, that has now been extended to December. So now through December 4th is when that mainline is going to run through. So just a month longer than the Charlotte mainline stuff. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they extended the Charlotte service as well, or perhaps switch it to just a CRJ 900 at the very least. So whatever the case may be, I hope they don't end it on November 4th as it says on PassRider. And also, I'll briefly hint on the year-to-date passenger count for 2023. We are at about 670,000, so a little more than halfway to our 1.2 million total that we had last year, and I think it's looking very likely we could beat that number or at least get very close to it, perhaps match it. So we'll have to see how this goes, and I'm still waiting for July's numbers to come out as I record this, but I'll keep checking the website again for the July numbers. If they are posted by the time this video goes out and I have it edited into the video, then you'll see that, and I'll link to that in the description if you want to go check that out to compare it to last year's numbers and all that good stuff. And also another thing too, I was reading up on a couple articles pertaining to airfares out of the Sioux Falls Regional Airport. They have changed quite drastically in recent years, as in the past many travelers would like to go to other airports, so they would start their journey out of like Omaha or Minneapolis or even Fargo, for crying out loud. But in recent years that has since changed as more people are flying out of Sioux Falls thanks to the addition of many new services in recent years, mainly in relation with Allegiant, as they've added a number of new services to like Nashville, Los Angeles, Austin, whatever it may be. They've got a number of services out of here now, so it's definitely contributed to an increase in the yearly passenger totals here at Sioux Falls, which is great. But yeah, so this could potentially bring in all sorts of new services in the future. As I did read up on another article where the executive director, Dan Ledler, was talking about potentially trying to get some sort of new services in here. He's thinking Southwest could come here in the future, but as of right now, if that does happen with the current status of this terminal, some trade-offs are likely. However, the good news is our concourse expansion plans are moving along nicely. It looks like they're going to find some sort of development team to move forward with that progress, so that'll be great. No further updates as to when construction will start or when it will be completed, but as I've said previously, I think construction is tentatively anticipated to begin around 2025, 2026, so possibly be completed sort of by the end of the decade, so like 2029 or even into 2030. So if we're still doing these airport update series in 8 years' time or so, 7, 8 years in the future, which would be awesome, I'd love to keep doing it for that long, that'll be really cool to see. So we'll have to keep following that, and I'll continue to update everybody as necessary. And that is everything then with all of the updates pertaining to Sioux Falls. And now I do want to quickly hit on one major subject that will affect pretty much the entire channel as we move into the fall. So by the time this video goes out, I will be in my final days of summer. I will be moving back into the dorms here pretty soon, so that I can get ready for my second year of college. And I will be taking on some additional commitments this year, so that may result in me having less weekends in which I get to go home and film videos and all that stuff. So my plan is to pre-record the rest of the August airport updates and possibly even get to a little bit of September as well. So there may still be some August schedules in there because I like to only film the airport updates for whatever month they're in. So I will only film, let's say, September airport updates in the month of September. I don't like to film ahead of schedule. Ahead of schedule necessarily, but if the circumstances require me to do so, then that's what I will be forced to do, just so I can keep that consistent schedule. So with that being said, I do have other plans that I'm working on for what I would like to call backup content. So I may work on short model reviews or whatever I may be able to come up with, just to sort of fill in the gaps in the event that I do not have an airport update ready to go on a certain weekend. But that does not necessarily mean that airport updates will be completely postponed to next month like in the past. I will try to move them around the schedule as necessary. And regular updates will be posted on my Instagram page along with the YouTube community tab, which is what I'm utilizing more frequently, since for iPads they finally added that in there, although it has started to break on there for some reason as it's not loading for me correctly. So maybe that's why we didn't have the community tab on iPads for like 3 years, but I digress. So, that is everything that I have for you in this video. If you stuck through the whole thing, thanks so much. Or if you even just watched a part of it, thanks for that as well. I appreciate it. And as we move into my second year of college, things are going to change quite drastically, but again, regular updates will continue to come out, as I always believe in effective communication, as that's what keeps a channel thriving. So, with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.